And welcome to episode 102 of Two Idiots Reading Comics. Today we're going to be looking at X-Men Messiah Complex. Go ahead and go to our little profile wherever you're looking at this. We have a link tree link now. You can find us everywhere we are. Go ahead and hit that. Like, share, subscribe, all the fun stuff. And we're going to keep it short and go into today's episode. And welcome to the best damn book club on the internet. My name's Ryan Talmadge. That's Davis Crocker. Today we are reading X-Men Messiah Complex.
That's right.
As recommended by Matt Wright.
That's right.
Matt Wright is a recent listener. He messaged us and told us he listened to like 30 episodes in a week.
Impressive.
Slow down, Matt. I promise you we're best in better, smaller doses. But he had a recommendation, and we were like, fuck it, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So, X-Men Messiah Complex. I'm actually going to take a nap while you read all these names.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a few minutes.
Gotcha.
Folks, if y'all just want to tune out for a few, we'll get it started with the X-Men Messiah Complex one-shot. Writer Ed Brubaker, penciler Mark Silvestri, inkers Joe Weems with Marco Galli, background artist Sheldon Mitchell, colorist Frank Diamarte, letterer Chris Eliopoulos. Uncanny X-Men 492 to 494. Writer Ed Brubaker, penciler Billy Tan, inkers Danny Miki with Alan Martinez, colorist Frank Armada, letterer Joe Caramagna. X Factor 25 to 27. Writer Peter David, penciler Scott Eaton, inkers John Dale with Andrew Hennessy and Dave Makis. Colorists Frank D. Marty with Brian Reber. Letterer Corey Pettit. New X-Men 44 to 46. Writers Craig Kyle and Chris Yost. Penciler Humberto Ramos. Inkers Carlos Suarez with Dave Meekis. Colorist Studio F's Edgar Delgado. Letterer Dave Sharp. X-Men 205 to 207. Writer Mike Carey. Penciler Chris Bachalo. Inkers Tim Townsend with John Siebel, Victor Elazaba, and Alve. Colors Brian Reber with Edgar Delgado. Letters Corey Pettit with Joe Caramagna. Holy cow, are we done?
I don't know.
Woo.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just blew somebody's eardrums out.
Probably.
Well, that just killed 5 minutes.
Did it?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, it might have. You were telling me earlier you had some comments you wanted to say. So I'll give the floor to you first.
So again, this was a great read. I enjoyed where we go with this comic, especially coming off of X-Men just having Wanda Maximoff pretty much kill the mutant race, mutant kind. And it was cool that they brought in hadn't had a birth. A lot of mutants lost their powers, and now we have a baby that's born. I also feel like they could have done this in 180 pages, not 344.
Okay.
I do feel like it just sat there and it seemed to repeat itself a lot. And I know this was a collected edition with multiple story arcs and everything.
It seemed like a crossover between all the X-Men.
But other than that, this was a really good comic. I enjoyed it. Getting to see Professor X walking again.
Yeah,
shocking.
When did that happen?
That must have been the one
that happened
Maximoff.
It happened
or somewhere in there.
It happened in Avengers vs. X-Men. I still don't know when. But yeah, that was weird. The only thing I thought they could have tightened up on was that whole Predator X.
Yeah, that
just seemed like it was like, okay, I mean, it's out there and it's killing mutants.
That definitely.
It just seems like it just got added purely because they needed someone for like the young X-Men to fight.
Yeah, and they made a comment later that it was from the same organization that made X-23.
Okay.
But at the same time, it did just kind of feel.
It was like,
hey, we need this background character
like
that's not going to do anything for 90% of the comic.
Yeah. It was like if when they're doing TV show, they're like, all right, we got to go talk about this group, this group, this group.
Yep.
And then here's this threat. Or like anytime, like in Game of Thrones, which we'll get to because that's your quiz this
Woohoo!
week. anytime they would show just the random night and the random shot of the Night King doing like marching or something.
Correct.
It's like, cool. You had to have that 10 seconds in there.
Right.
Or
And
whatever.
we're just going to talk about it 4 seasons later.
Yeah. And when you do it in a comic book, I mean, it takes up a whole page instead
Right.
of 10 seconds.
Correct.
So that was really the only thing I thought they could tighten up on. Like you said, it was a crossover between all the X-Men stuff. And so there was a bunch of recap in it.
Yeah.
Maybe I was numb to that because I've been watching a lot of One Piece, and Shonen Jump in general is like Shonen Jump is like notorious for like the first 10 minutes of the episode. You have like a 3-minute intro music credit scene,
Right.
and then you have another 3 minutes of recap, and so you're like the first 5 to 10 minutes of your episode is all recap. So I'm numb to all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, but I thought it was pretty good.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
definitely interesting. I feel like we're reading the whole because we read Avengers versus X-Men,
Yep.
and then now we're reading this, and eventually we're gonna read House of M.
So
and
we're
we just
kind
did
of
it.
reading
We did
a
it
little
backwards. Yeah. So, I enjoyed it. And this for once, like the difference between art styles didn't throw me off.
No.
Like I accepted it because I knew it was gonna be like 5 different X-Men
Yeah.
comics.
And you could tell there was a couple times. I think it was Beast.
Yeah, Beast
And Wolverine. They
Beast
really
was all over the place.
They really kind of changed them up a good bit.
Mm.
But other than that, everything was pretty smooth. There, all the colors are the same. I mean, it just is. But I had another.
Did the surprise of Deadpool being the one with the baby?
Cable.
Oh yeah,
Cable.
Cable. Well,
Not
I don't know why Deadpool.
Deadpool's
Not even in this movie or the comic. Did like the surprise of it being Cable and not someone else, like because they focused on like the 3 groups and they're like, okay, that group has the baby, okay, that group has the baby, and then it's just Cable, and I was just like, I don't know, it was kind of anticlimactic for me. I was just like, oh, Cable.
When they said that Cable had died early on, and then when they showed Cable, I went, oh, well, they just set it up. There was your foreshadowing. But while I was reading it, I'm like, all right, we've seen Professor X, we've seen Cyclops, we've seen Wolverine, Emma Frost, the Marauders group with Gambit and Mystique, and like the Iconic. We already talked about Stryker, and I was sitting there going, oh, it's Magneto. That's where I went. It's like, oh, Magneto's the only heavy
where the
hitter.
heck was he here?
Again, who knows? But I
my
definitely
whole thing was like, because they had that storyline where that guy went in the future and they were like, the baby did something. Now, me and you, we don't know if it's technically all that same storyline or like story arc. But we just assumed this kid was Hope Summers from Avengers vs. X-Men.
yeah.
And so I'm like, well, is the events of Avengers vs. X-Men what the people in the future wanted to prevent? Because what's his face? Bishop. Is that what Bishop was like trying to prevent?
It could be, because in Avengers
Now
X-Men, that's where they get the powers, right? They get the Phoenix powers, right?
Yeah. But that was the twist that did surprise me. I was like, oh shit, Bishop is the one trying to hunt and kill the baby.
Because then when they showed, did they show Bishop as a kid in the future first, or in a normal time going to kill the baby?
No, it was something. It was like they showed up at the future guy's thing, and someone had Cable finally made it to the guy.
Correct.
The guy in Dallas who sent those people to the future and the alternate realities.
Yeah, I didn't write it down.
Just to find out, and Cable shows up to that place looking for that guy, and someone had like shot him and stuff, and Bishop was already there.
Okay.
Or like pretended like he showed up or something, I
That
think.
makes sense.
I don't know. I read this like Tuesday night.
Yeah.
So,
I remember that, and
then they show the future thing where it's like
that
kid is Bishop, and he's like,
yeah. And he's talking about how I wish
this-
there were no mutants, because I would have seen my parents die, I wouldn't have seen my friends, my
Yeah.
sister. Yeah.
yeah.
I think it was his sister. He said a sibling, I think.
Yeah.
Now, the girl that goes with the shapeshifter, not shapeshifter, but the multiplying guy.
The girl who knows stuff.
Is that her? What she did? Was that her powers? Did she know? Like,
I don't know. Apparently, like something was going on with her powers. I guess the House of M fucked with it, but it was like because on all the little things where people could tell if you were a mutant
correct?
or not,
It was flashing back.
she
and
was like
forth.
going in and out. So I don't know. I've never
'Cause
met
I
that
don't-
character
yeah.
before.
And it was just odd. It was just like sometimes it seemed like she had no powers. Period.
She was just smart.
And then all of a sudden she'd be like, "Oh yeah, you'll be fine soon. Your pain will be gone, but you won't be dead."
Yeah.
It's like, wait, hold on now. Is she psychic? Is she not?
Yeah, I don't know.
One thing that got me was when the Sentinels attacked the Xavier Institute.
Yeah.
How many people died?
Apparently a lot.
Okay, that they just didn't show.
I mean,
They showed a few, but
it's a school full of kids. You can't have them all be main characters.
well, not main characters. But I figured
I mean, they're death fodder.
that's true.
I mean, they had a whole bunch of people get injured.
They definitely have a lot of people get injured in this, and
Yeah.
apparently they have one healer, and he most definitely got hurt.
Yeah,
first.
and they died. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it was a fun story. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know what you're looking at, but you know you can bring your notepad up to
I
you.
did, but there's nothing on there. Now when this ends,
Uh-huh.
where do you think Cable goes? Did he go into the future?
Yeah, it goes to the future.
Okay. How far?
Wherever Cable lives, I don't know.
Well, all right, because
I don't know what year he's
if
from.
the events that the
I
guy
don't-
and the girl went into the future, that was an alternate timeline.
Yeah.
What about his other self that went into a future? Did he just not? Then it's not going to talk about that one.
We're only 616 here, man. We don't care. Our universe is the main universe.
That is true. That is true. Though Marvel doesn't seem to give a shit about that anymore. But save that for another issue.
No, that was last episode.
Oh, that was.
We're filming these out of order this month.
Either way, any other things from the book or?
Thank you for recommending it, Matt.
Oh yeah.
I'd never even heard of this one.
No,
Messiah
this
Complex.
was good.
Yeah, it was fun. I was just trying to think of ways to like counter your points, but there were some stuff in there that could have got taken care of.
I mean, you're talking about the 300.
There's a bunch of characters I have never heard of in this.
No.
I was just like, all right, cool, have fun.
Like the fact that Cable had an entire team from the future.
yeah,
Bishop, the Indian, with the war.
Well, I think that was like X Factor or something. Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember. But he was the one with the knives, the big like dual wielding knives that would run around.
No idea.
Jeez, man.
I had to retire a project at work this week. I was I was in the office until midnight last night. You're lucky you're getting anything out of me.
That is true. But
Not everybody got to be home for 2 weeks.
that doesn't mean I wasn't in the field working 12 hours a day.
Well,
Either way. Again, with a 344-page book, comic collected stories.
story only went to 313.
313, fine. 313, collected stories. It still did well crossing over and being able to bring in this many characters.
I don't understand why you can do this, but then like it seems like the big two do every other crossover thing, and they're like, oh, we're gonna leave out like we're gonna do a collected version, but it's just gonna be the main
It's just the
crossover,
yeah.
and then you're gonna have to pay $20
Yep.
extra to get all the tie-ins.
Yeah.
Why can't we just do that like we did that with this one?
This was the way they were able to put it all together did well.
Oh yeah.
And I guess it was kind of like the Star Wars one that we read. It brought the bounty hunters. It brought a lot of them in together.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, other than that, it was good. I'm now looking forward to doing it in completely the wrong order, but going back
House of M.
to the House of M.
I don't know when that's gonna happen. Don't get your hopes up.
Stay tuned. We
According to
might
Matt-
put it on Instagram.
According to Matt, there is some Cable spin-offs that come off of this that he recommends. I don't know if we're gonna get into that, but if you really enjoyed this, go check those out.
Yeah.
or go follow Matt Wright on Facebook. He might be able to tell you something. I don't know.
That is true.
I don't want to blow up a spot.
Hey.
All 25 of our YouTube subscribers.
There is a title of this. It's called Two Idiots. We don't know everything.
Oh yeah, we're close enough. Well, yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad he recommended it.
Oh yeah.
Definitely glad we read it. I just don't know that much about the X-Men.
Which is weird. Growing up with the X-Men,
It's one of those because we grew up
watching,
in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, everybody's like, oh, the X-Men, or the X-Men.
Yeah.
Especially during the 90s and early 2000s, and it's just like, I don't know. I think because we started reading comics during the MCU, and they didn't have the rights to it, they just cut off a lot of the X-Men, and it's just like, I don't have, as much as I loved watching the movies, like, I don't have.
Yeah, there's no.
As far as comics go, like, I don't have like a gigantic connection with the X-Men.
Correct, and it does. It's kind of like the downfall of watching.
Maybe y'all need to send me stuff to read so I can get connected to the X-Men. I don't know.
It seems to kind of be the downfall of like us growing up watching those TV shows. Is to me, that was it. Like that was the X-Men. There was nothing else. It was like watching Justice League. It was like oh, that's it. Oh, they brought a few characters in. Cool. And then growing up and you go to read comics and the Justice League isn't the Justice League and you're like, oh, okay, there's a whole different world.
It's like definitely John Stewart's my Green Lantern, and
and they don't even use him much.
They hardly ever use him. It's just
which blows my mind.
I think they did this thing on Twitter called DC Round Robin. It's basically a whole bunch of people. They gave you like the premise and pitch of each comic, and it was like a Twitter like bracket you could vote on to get there. And I don't know if it ended up making it to the end, but there was a John Stewart Green Lantern comic. Man. And I know if at least for like the first 2 weeks, it smoked whoever it was against.
Man,
but I don't know if it won the final thing.
Man, was that was on Instagram?
It was on. I think it was on all their social medias, but I saw it on Twitter. It's called DC Round Robin.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I didn't pay enough attention to it though.
Yeah. But no, there was I think I voted like the first round. Now I forgot about it.
I didn't even vote. There's some weird ones on there that I just didn't even know what they were.
Yeah. It was I don't know. That would suck if like I wonder if they had those people like write a whole or do like 2 whole issues just in case it won.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
And you just have to sit there and watch your comic book get canceled. That would suck.
Well, how about writing 2 issues and having in your back pocket? Yeah. Oh man, look where we could go. Yeah. And you get like 30% of the first round votes.
Yeah.
Like just get absolutely creamed out of the first round.
Oh yeah, there were some people that were upset. I can tell, but they didn't want to bite the hand that fed them.
Jeez.
But yeah. Thank you, Matt Wright.
Thank you.
But this month's quiz, it's your turn, Davis.
Woohoo!
Let's see if you can wipe out my $50, or you can get your own $50.
That's right. So I gotta get 2 right this week to wipe you out, or take it.
Oh yeah, and then 3 top shot at 75.
3 to top.
Or if you get 0 wrong, I get $40.
You get another $40.
Yeah. This week's category, I had to narrow it down to 2. It was like shows we watched together in shows our friend group watched together in college, because there's a bunch of shows we watched together. But I wasn't doing a flash quiz.
Ooh, I failed that so fast.
Really, I only watched the first 3 seasons.
That show got wild.
But it was either going to be Walking Dead or Game of Thrones. I went with Game of Thrones.
Alrighty.
All TV show. Because I don't think you've read the books.
I have not read the books.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of, the House of Dragons comes out in August. About the Targaryens taking over Westeros.
I think I'm going to boycott that. Legitimately.
Just because of, what's his name, not finishing the final book.
Yeah. I'm not going to
He put his effort into the show over
I'm not
finishing his book.
What the fuck? Well, please don't tell me it just synced with my phone. Because that would have like literally wiped out my Man, Apple just fucked me hard.
Man, that's fucked, man. I had a problem with the Kindle to get started with Comixology. Now the iPad's messing up.
I know.
Boycott electronics.
All I wanted was my text messages to go to both, and now it just took away my Game of Thrones quiz. I'm pretty sure. Well, you're only getting 3 questions now. All right, you ready?
Hey, let's go.
Okay. Who fought the bear at the end of season 3?
Oh, Lannister loses a hand. No. It was the female. Brienne of Tarth.
Yes. You're at $40.
Whew.
Okay.
I almost fucked that one up.
Fuck Apple. um. Okay. How many tips of fingers did Stannis Baratheon cut off of Davos's hand?
Okay, like how many knuckles?
No, he took
Just
the tips of fingers off of Davos's hands. How many?
4.
4. Yes, correct. God damn it.
Because the only one he's got is his thumb.
Yeah.
Or the one only full. He looks like this.
Yeah. I can't remember the name for the hard one. That was my ace in the hole.
Dang, I didn't think I didn't know these.
Who killed Ned Stark? I need the name.
Okay, all right. Who's the executioner?
Yes. Do you know his name?
Oh man, I can see his face. Not a chance. I remember this name. No.
Sir Ilian Payne.
Yeah, I wasn't getting that one.
Cool, sweet. All right. You want some time to think of what you're gonna do with that money while I try to remember the other 2 questions?
Yeah, we'll give it some time.
Okay. The other one was, can't remember the name. It was the guy who led the group of knights for the Lord of Light. Guy who could set his sword on fire.
Ooh,
I can't remember his name, but you know who I'm
he was
talking
for the
about,
Lord
right?
of Light?
Yeah. Because it was how many? The question was, how many times did the Lord of Light resurrect him?
3.
6.
6.
Yeah.
Dang. Did not know 6.
Oh, and then the third one, the 5th one was super easy. What's the name of Arya's sword?
Oh, Needle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, so you got $50, either against me or for you.
Huh. We'll slate wipe it.
So I'm back to 0.
Back to 0. Since I got them both,
Okay.
we'll wipe it. Take us
Good.
back to 0.
I got you.
Take it back to 0.
Damn it.
Hey, that's the most. No, you got 2 last time. I thought I could.
Yeah,
Get
I got
3.
2 last
Yeah,
time.
I thought I
Yeah.
could get 3 and be our first 3-peat.
Yeah, no. But yeah. No, I am definitely boycotting whatever that fucking show is, because
House of the Dragon.
he should have, at the very least, Winds of Winter finished. If you never get to a Dream of Spring, okay, but like, you're like,
At least
talked
get,
about during
yeah.
COVID how you're gonna knuckle down and finish that shit. And
What
you just
is
didn't.
He's now been air quotes working on it for 7 years.
About 10 years. I think it was 2012.
Oh, it was before the show ever got going then, or like the
It
show
was
would have
like-
been in like its first or second season.
Yeah, it was like when it became a hit.
So I guess
And-
kind of like Harry Potter, where she was writing them
yeah.
so ahead of the movies.
Yeah.
Wow. That sucks.
And I just don't
'Cause-
like unfinished stories.
Nah, I mean that's no fun.
Yeah.
So I got 2 for 2, 2 for 3. I'll take it.
But now we can't do the fun stuff of talking about what you're going to buy. I was planning on getting the Batman, Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo Batman Omnibus 1.
Yeah, that was gonna be
That's
pretty
what I was
good.
going to get you to get me.
Mine was gonna be the whenever Venom comes out.
Oh, the
That
Donny
one.
Cates
Yeah,
Venom
the Donny Cates
Omnibus.
Venom.
That is one I'm probably going to get. Not going to lie. But ain't nobody getting shit, so.
Yay! We're all losers
Uh,
today.
Fucking Apple's a loser. Tim Cook, what the fuck? You're fucking me here.
Oh jeez.
But next week is
Saga Volume 8.
Yeah, Saga Volume 8. Ooh,
We got a lot to
Lord.
talk about, folks.
Oof. I wish. Why'd it have to happen now?
Yeah.
But that's for next week. And then we're going to do the draft. Fight to the death draft.
Fight to the death.
Yeah. So, yeah, that'll be next week. And until then, have a nice time.
Bye.
Bye. I don't know why I changed up the intro, but fuck it. Bye.
See ya.